One night she was demoted to housekeeping. 3 weeks later, the billionaire owner was begging her to inherit his entire empire. "Fire! Everyone evacuate!" She ran down the corridor, pounding on guest room doors. "Fire! Get out now!" Chaos erupted. Guests stumbled into hallways in pajamas, confused and frightened. The night staff appeared, some
Keep
helping,
moving,
others
everyone.
frozen in panic.
Stay calm and
"Use the
orderly.
emergency stairs,"
This way
Chioma
to the
shouted.
exit.
"Stay calm. Move quickly." She did a mental count of the floors. 23 stories,
move.
hundreds of guests.
This way, quickly.
Her training kicked in.
Keep
She'd
moving,
studied
don't
emergency
stop.
protocols obsessively when she became manager, praying she'd never need them. "Fund me." She grabbed her assistant. "Check the guest registry. Anyone with mobility issues?" "Yes, Ma." Room 1807, elderly couple, wife uses wheelchair. Room 1203, man on crutches. Room 2115, get security to assist them. Now, but Musa was gone. So was most of the night security team. Through the smoke and chaos, Chioma saw them running out of the building, abandoning their posts. She made a choice. "Fund me, you evacuate. I'll get the vulnerable guests." "Ma, you can't go alone. That's an order. Go." This was the moment that would change her destiny forever. But to understand how Chioma, who had quietly cleared her office to leave the company and avoid the embarrassment of being fired publicly, became the only one brave enough to run into the fire, we must go back to where it all began. So, brave listener, before we walk deeper into this tale of destiny, honor the kingdom of Queen's folklore, subscribe, leave your royal mark, and share this story with fellow travelers. Now, let the journey continue. They say you can judge a person by how they treat those who can do nothing for them. Chioma believed this with her whole heart. What she didn't know was that the shabby old man shuffling into her hotel lobby that rainy Tuesday evening could do everything times for her. He just chose not to show it. The fluorescent lights of Grandeur Palace Hotel flickered as Chioma stood behind the reception desk, counting money for the third time that evening. 240 naira. Enough for transport home, nothing left for supper. But Mama needed her medication more. Still counting coins like a primary school child, Chioma looked up to see Ngozi, her colleague, leaning against the desk with that signature smirk. Ngozi's fresh Brazilian weave probably cost more than Chioma's monthly salary. "Just organizing my purse," Chioma replied calmly. "Never let them see you embarrassed," Mama always said. "If you were smart like me, you'd stop being so righteous." Mrs. Adeyemi splits her commission with those of us who know how business really works. Chioma knew exactly what that meant. Overcharging guests, adding mysterious fees, pocketing the difference. "I'm fine with my salary." "Your salary?" Nosy laughed. 300,000 to watch people come and go? While I made an extra 200,000 last month? But please, continue being professional. Before Chioma could respond, the automatic doors groaned open. A gust of rain-soaked wind swept in, carrying the smell of wet asphalt and something unwashed. The man who entered looked assembled from discarded parts of Lagos itself. His shirt, once white, now carried the gray-brown palette of the city's streets. One sleeve was torn, held together by safety pins. His trousers were too short, revealing ankles wrapped in newspapers. His shoes were more whole than sole, bound with wire. But his eyes, clear and sharp, moved across the lobby with an assessment that seemed too calculating for someone in his condition. He shuffled toward reception, leaving wet footprints. Musa, the security guard, moved to intercept him. "Oga, you lost? This place no be shelter." "Good evening," the man said firmly. "I'd like to book a room, please." The lobby fell silent. Ngozi froze mid-lipstick application, then burst into laughter. "You want to book a room, Oga? Our cheapest room is 75,000 naira per night. You look like 75 naira would change your life." Other guests chuckled. Musa gripped his baton tighter. The man reached into his shabby jacket and pulled out a black card that gleamed under the lights. "Will this suffice?" The laughter died instantly. Chioma recognized it, an unlimited credit card requiring a minimum balance of 50 million naira. That has to be fake," Nosy sputtered. "Only one way to find out," the man said, extending the card. Chioma stepped forward. "Good evening, sir. Welcome to Grandeur Palace Hotel. I'd be happy to assist you." She felt Ngozi's hot glare as she accepted the card. "What room would you prefer, sir?" The man studied her with unsettling intensity. "Room 237. If it's available." Chioma's fingers hesitated. Room 237 was the penthouse suite, 450,000 naira per night. "Room 237 is our premier suite," she explained carefully. "With service charges, it's 540,000 naira per night." "I'm aware. I'll take it for 1 week." Behind her, Ngozi gasped. 1 week would cost nearly 4 million naira. Chioma swiped the card, expecting it to decline. Instead, approved. "Thank you, mister." She glanced at the display. "Mr. Obi, your room is ready. Would you like assistance with luggage?" A ghost of a smile touched his lips. "I have no luggage. Just myself." As she processed the booking, she included the tourist map and service directory. "In case you need anything during your stay, sir, I've included my direct extension dial, 1107 for assistance." Mr. Obi took the folder, his weathered fingers brushing hers. "What's your name?" "Chioma, sir." "Chioma Nwosu." "Chioma." He repeated it like he was memorizing it. "Thank you for your kindness, truly. Just doing my job, sir." "No," he said quietly. "You're doing much more than that, and that difference matters more than you know." The elevator doors closed on his weathered face. The lobby erupted. 4 million naira? Who is he? Probably stole that card, Ngozi declared loudly. Then Mrs. Adeyemi's voice cut through. Miss Nwosu, my office, now. Mrs. Adeyemi's office smelled like expensive perfume and corruption. Their manager sat behind her mahogany desk like a queen. You just checked in a vagrant, she said coldly. Do you understand how this makes us look? He had valid payment, Ma. The transaction was approved. I don't care if he had the president's card. You should have called me first. Mrs. Adeyemi stood, pacing. You know your problem, Chioma? You think being principled makes you smart? Ngozi offers to help you earn extra money, and you refuse like you're too good for it. I'm comfortable with my arrangement, Ma. Your arrangement? I heard you eat 1 meal a day, wear the same 3 outfits, take Okada because you can't afford Uber. Yet, you're comfortable? Each word exposed Chioma's poverty like a wound, but she kept her voice steady. My finances are my concern, Ma. Mrs. Adeyemi pulled out a thick envelope. 50,000 naira, a bonus. Just start being smart. Work with me. There's money to be made if you bend a little. The envelope sat there, tempting. 50,000 enough for Mama's medication for 2 months, enough to eat properly. All she had to do was compromise. Chioma thought about the old man everyone had laughed at, how easy it would have been to turn him away. She thought about integrity, who you are, when no one's watching. She thought about Mama. I can't accept that, Ma. The temperature dropped. Excuse me? I appreciate it, but I want to earn money through my work, not other arrangements. You stupid girl. Mrs. Adeyemi's voice turned to ice. Effective immediately, you're moving to housekeeping. Night shift. 200,000 per month. And your first assignment will be room 237. The words hit like a blow. A 33% pay cut. Cleaning toilets instead of greeting guests. When does this take effect? Tonight. Report to Mr. Emeka. And Chioma? Next time you refuse to be smart, you won't just be demoted. You'll be gone. Chioma left with her few possessions. A photo of Mama, a devotional book, a thermos of gari. Cleaning toilets in room 237? Nosy called out. Tell your homeless friend I said hello. The staff laughed as Chioma walked away, head high. What none of them knew was that in room 237, Mr. Obi sat before multiple laptop screens, watching every camera feed. He'd seen everything the bribe offered, the refusal, the unjust demotion. In his leather journal he wrote, Chioma Nwosu, age 26. Salary, 300K, 200K. Unjust demotion. Character, exceptional. Integrity, 10/10. Refuses corruption despite desperate circumstances. First candidate in 18 months to pass stage 1. Recommendation, proceed to stage 2. If she maintains this standard under pressure, she may be the one. He closed the journal and smiled at the city below the empire that needed a worthy inheritor. His children had failed him. Every executive had proven corrupt. He'd been searching for 3 years, testing employees in disguise. Tonight, a woman who couldn't afford meals had treated him like he mattered. Let's see how deep your integrity goes, Chioma Nwosu, he murmured. Let's see if you're truly worthy of what I'm about to offer you. Below, Chioma received her housekeeping uniform, learning her first assignment would be room 237 tomorrow morning. The real test was just beginning, and everything was about to change. The housekeeping uniform hung on Chioma, like shame 2 sizes too large, faded blue with yellow stains that wouldn't wash out. She stood in the basement changing room at 6 a.m., having worked her first night shift cleaning guest bathrooms while her former colleagues slept peacefully in their homes. Her hands were raw from chemicals, her back ached from scrubbing floors, and she had 4 hours left before her shift ended. Ah, the princess has fallen, a voice rang out. Chioma turned to see Blessing, a housekeeping supervisor who'd worked at Grandeur Palace for 15 years and seemed to resent anyone with education. I heard you used to be a receptionist. University graduate, AB? Now look at you cleaning toilets like the rest of us. Good morning, Ma, Chioma said quietly, folding her civilian clothes into her locker. Don't mommy, we're equals now. In fact, I'm your superior. Blessing moved closer, her breath sour with morning iro and yesterday's akamu. Mr. Emeka gave me your assignment sheet. You're doing room 237 today. The penthouse. She laughed a harsh grating sound. The same guest you checked in. The one who got you demoted. How does that feel? I'll do my best, Ma. Chioma caught herself. I'll do my best. Your best better be perfect. That room costs more per night than you make in 2 months. One complaint, and Mrs. Adeyemi will fire you faster than you can say, I should have been smart. Blessing thrust a cleaning cart toward her. You have 2 hours. Don't embarrass us. The penthouse elevator required a special key card. As it climbed, Chioma's stomach churned not from the motion, but from the bitter irony. Yesterday, she handed this key card to Mr. Onrice, Obi with professional courtesy. Today, she was using it to clean his toilet. How you treat people when you have nothing reveals who you'll be when you have everything, Mama's voice reminded her. The elevator opened directly into room 237. Chioma's breath caught despite everything. Floor-to-ceiling windows showcased Lagos in golden morning light. Marble floors gleamed. The furniture probably cost more than her family would earn in a lifetime. Hello? She called out softly. Housekeeping? No response. She pushed her cart inside, relieved he was out. Cleaning without the guest present was easier, less humiliating. She could work quickly and leave. But as she rounded the corner to the bedroom, she froze. Mr. Obi sat in an armchair by the window, still wearing those shabby clothes, watching the sunrise. He turned slowly, and those clear, assessing eyes locked onto hers. Miss Nwosu, he said, voice neutral. I didn't expect to see you so soon. I'm I'm housekeeping now, sir. I'll be servicing your room today. I can come back later if... No need. Please continue your work. Chioma nodded, face burning. She began with the bedroom, changing linens with practiced efficiency. She'd cleaned hundreds of rooms during her university holidays, working to pay tuition after her father died. The muscle memory returned, corners tucked hospital style, pillows fluffed just so. Tell me something, Miss Nwosu. Mr. Obi said suddenly. Why did you treat me with respect yesterday? Chioma's hands stilled on the pillowcase. Sir? Everyone else laughed. Your colleague mocked me. The security guard wanted to throw me out. But you treated me like I mattered. Why? She resumed, making the bed, choosing her words carefully. Because you do matter, sir. Every person matters, regardless of how they look or how much money they have. A noble sentiment, but costly it seems. You were demoted because of me. I was demoted because of choices I made, sir. That's not your fault. What choices? Chioma moved to the bathroom, uncomfortable with this conversation, but his voice followed her. What choices, Miss Nwosu? She knelt by the bathtub, Italian marble, probably worth more than her entire apartment building, and began scrubbing. I refused to compromise my integrity. Mrs. Adeyemi wanted me to participate in schemes that would earn extra money. I said no. This is the consequence. Do you regret it? The question hung in the air. Did she regret it? Her mother was rationing medication. Her brother might have to drop out of school. She was eating one meal a day and still losing weight. The smart choice would have been to take the money, bend the rules, and survive. But as she scrubbed that expensive bathtub with raw, chemical-burned hands, Chioma realized something. She could live with poverty. She couldn't live with becoming someone her mother wouldn't recognize. No, sir, she said finally. I don't regret it. Even though you're suffering? Suffering is temporary. Character is permanent. Silence. Then, footsteps. Mr. Obi appeared in the bathroom doorway, studying her with that unnerving intensity. Your mother must be very proud of you. Tears pricked Chioma's eyes. She blinked them back furiously. My mother taught me everything worth knowing, sir. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to finish. Her phone buzzed. Then again. And again. I'm sorry, sir. I'll turn it off. Check it, he said quietly. It might be important. With trembling hands, Chioma pulled out her phone. 12 missed calls from her brother, Chukwudi. 3 voicemails. Her heart stopped. She dialed back immediately. Chukwudi? What's wrong? Chichi, it's Mama. Her brother's voice cracked with panic. She collapsed. We're at the hospital. They're saying we need money for tests. 200,000 naira. Chichi, I don't know what to do. The phone slipped from her hand, clattering against marble. 200,000 naira. Her entire month's salary. Money she wouldn't receive for another 3 weeks. And Mama needed it now. Miss Nwosu? Mr. Obi's voice seemed to come from far away. What's happened? My mother. The words barely made it past her throat. She's in the hospital. She needs tests. I have to go. I'm sorry, sir. I'll finish cleaning later. She abandoned the cart and ran for the elevator. Mr. Obi's voice called after her, but she couldn't stop. Couldn't think. Mama was all she had. If something happened to Mama, Mrs. Adeyemi's office. Chioma burst in without knocking. Please, Ma. I need an advance on my salary. It's an emergency, my mother. Sit down, Chioma. Mrs. Adeyemi's voice was surprisingly gentle. Chioma collapsed into the chair, words tumbling out. She collapsed. They need 200,000 for tests. I know I just started in housekeeping. I know I don't deserve favors, but please, Ma. I'm begging you. I'll work double shifts. I'll do anything. Mrs. Adeyemi opened her desk drawer, the same drawer from yesterday. She pulled out that thick envelope. This is 300,000 naira, she said, placing it on the desk. More than enough for your mother's tests and treatment. Hope flared in Chioma's chest, painful and bright. Take it, Mrs. Adeyemi continued. All I ask in return is that you be reasonable. Join my team. Help with the premium services program. It's simple. Really, you add a few charges here and there, split the profit. Everyone wins. The envelope sat between them. 300,000 naira. Mama's life. All she had to do was compromise. Chioma's hand reached out, trembling. That's it, Mrs. Adeyemi encouraged, smiling. Be smart, Chioma. Your mother needs you to be smart. Chioma's fingers touched the envelope, felt the thickness of it. Imagine Mama in a hospital bed, waiting. Imagine Chukwudi's frightened face. Imagine telling them she couldn't help because of principles. Then she imagined her mother's voice. Never let them buy your soul, my daughter. Not even for me. She pulled her hand back. I can't. Mrs. Adeyemi's smile vanished. What? I can't take it. Not like this. I'm sorry. Chioma stood on shaking legs. I'll find another way. There is no other way. You have no savings, no assets, no one to borrow from. Your mother could die, Chioma. And you're choosing pride over her life? I'm choosing who I am over who you want me to be. There's a difference. She walked out, Mrs. Adeyemi's furious voice following her. You're fired, you hear me? Fired. Don't bother coming back. Chioma stumbled through the lobby, vision blurred with tears. Fired. No money. Mama dying. She'd made the right choice and lost everything. Miss Nwosu. Mr. Obi stood by the reception desk, no longer in shabby clothes. He wore a tailored suit that whispered of wealth. His beard was trimmed. His eyes were different, authoritative. Come with me, please. I can't, sir. I have to get to the hospital. Your brother called the hotel. Your mother is stable. The tests have been paid for. She's receiving treatment. Chioma swayed. What? How? Come with me. There's something you need to know. He led her to the conference room. Inside sat hotel executives she'd never met, lawyers in expensive suits, and Mrs. Adeyemi, whose face had gone gray. Please, sit, Mr. Obi said, his voice carrying an unmistakable command. Chioma sat, confused and exhausted. Mr. Obi remained standing. My name is Obiora Obi. I own this hotel. I own 47 hotels across Nigeria. And for the past 3 years, I've been searching for something very specific, someone with unshakable integrity to inherit my empire. The room spun. You see, my children care only about money. Every executive I've groomed has proven corrupt. So I've been testing employees across my properties, disguised as someone powerless, watching how people treat me when they think I can do nothing for them. He turned to face her fully. Yesterday, you treated me with dignity when everyone else showed contempt. Today, you refused a bribe even though your mother's life hung in the balance. You chose character over comfort, principle over profit, integrity over survival itself. Tears streamed down Chioma's face. Mrs. Adeyemi, Mr. Obi's voice turned cold. You're fired. Security will escort you out. Your pension is revoked for embezzlement. Legal proceedings begin Monday. Mrs. Adeyemi opened her mouth, closed it, and was led away by security. Mr. Obi turned back to Chioma. Miss Nwosu, I'm offering you the position of General Manager of Grandeur Palace Hotel, effective immediately. Salary, 2 million naira per month. Full benefits. Your mother's medical expenses are covered indefinitely. Your brother's education funded through university. Chioma couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. They laughed when you chose honesty over money, Mr. Obi said softly. But integrity always has the last laugh. What do you say? Through tears? Chioma whispered. Yes, thank you. Yes, good. Because your real test starts now. Managing 50 employees who just learned that character matters more than connections. Think you can handle it? Despite everything, Chioma smiled. I'll do my best, sir. That, Mr. Obi said, is exactly what I wanted to hear. 3 weeks had passed since Chioma became general manager. Her office, Mrs. Adeyemi's former domain, had been redecorated. The corruption awards were gone, replaced by photos of hotel staff and guest testimonials. The expensive perfume smell had been replaced by fresh flowers Chioma brought from the market each Monday. But something felt wrong. Another complaint? Chioma asked as her assistant, Funmi, handed her the third guest feedback form that morning. Yes, ma. Room 1502 says housekeeping was rude. Room 807 claims front desk overcharged them. And room 1204. Funmi hesitated. They say their jewelry was stolen. Chioma's stomach tightened. Theft was serious. Career-ending serious. Has this been reported to the police? The guest doesn't want police involved. Just wants compensation. Something about this didn't sit right. In 3 weeks, they'd had more complaints than the previous 3 months combined, and they all followed a pattern difficult to prove, easy to blame on staff, expensive to resolve. Funmi, pull the security footage for room 1204. Every angle. From the moment they checked in until they reported the theft. Ma, shouldn't we just compensate them? Mr. Obi always says guest satisfaction. Mr. Obi also taught me that integrity means investigating truth, not just appeasing complaints. Get me that footage. As Funmi left, Chioma's phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. You're in over your head. Resign before you embarrass yourself. A friend. She deleted it. It was the 5th threatening message this week. Someone wanted her to fail. The question was, who? That evening, Chioma stayed late, reviewing footage. Her eyes burned from staring at screens. But she'd found something crucial. The guest in room 1204 had removed their own jewelry before calling to report it stolen. It was insurance fraud, and they tried to make the hotel complicit. She was drafting her report when voices in the corridor made her freeze. Can't believe they made her manager. A housekeeping girl. Ngozi. Chioma recognized that bitter tone. It won't last, another voice responded. Blessing from housekeeping. Mr. Obi is testing her. Once she fails, and she will, someone qualified will take over. Someone who understands how things really work. We just need to help her fail faster, Ngozi said. A few more complaints, maybe a health inspection issue, some bad online reviews. You're filing false complaints? That was Musa, the security guard. His voice carried shock. I'm ensuring natural selection. Nosy snapped. That position should have been mine. I have seniority, connections. But she shows up with her integrity. The word dripped with venom. And suddenly she's management? Please. This is business, not Sunday school. Nosy, this is wrong. This is survival, Musa. Either you're with us or against us. Choose carefully. Their footsteps faded. Chioma sat in darkness, hand pressed to her mouth. She'd known some staff resented her promotion, but active sabotage? False complaints designed to destroy her credibility? Her phone rang. Mr. Obi. Miss Nwosu, I need you at my estate. Now. It's urgent. His tone sent ice through her veins. Is something wrong, sir? We'll discuss it when you arrive. My driver is already outside. Mr. Obi's estate in Ikoyi was stunning colonial architecture, wrapped in modern security, gardens that whispered of old money. But Chioma barely noticed. She was led to a study where Mr. Obi sat behind a desk, his face grave, and beside him stood a woman in her 40s, elegant and cold. Miss Nwosu. This is my daughter, Adana. She's been reviewing the hotel's finances. Chioma's mouth went dry. Good evening, Ma. Adana didn't return the greeting. Miss Nwosu, can you explain these transactions? She slid a spreadsheet across the desk. 50,000 naira to Nwosu Medical Fund, another 30,000 to Chukwudi Nwosu Education, 75,000 to Personal Emergency Fund, all drawn from Hotel Petty, cash over 3 weeks. The room tilted. I don't understand. I never authorized. Your signature is on every withdrawal slip. Adana's voice was sharp as glass. Either you're embezzling, or you're criminally negligent with hotel funds. Papa, this is exactly what I warned you about, Adana continued, turning to her father. You elevated a girl with no real experience based on sentiment. Now the hotel is bleeding money, and she's treating it like her personal account. Those aren't my signatures, Chioma said, her voice shaking. I've never seen these forms. Someone is framing. Of course you'd say that. Adana pulled out more papers. Here's your employee file. Compare the signatures. They match perfectly. And they did. Chioma stared at the documents, feeling reality crack beneath her feet. Someone had forged her signature with frightening accuracy. There's more, Adana said. Anonymous complaints to the labor board about your management style. Reports of favoritism, hostile work environment, inappropriate conduct, all filed in the past 2 weeks. None of that is true. Perhaps, but perception is reality in business. Adana turned to her father. Papa, you gave her a chance. She failed. Let me handle the hotel before she destroys everything you built. Mr. Obi had been silent throughout, his expression unreadable. Now he spoke, his voice quiet. Chioma, is there anything you want to tell me? The question felt like betrayal. After he'd tested her, promoted her, believed in her, he was actually considering his daughter's accusations? Sir, I have never stolen from this hotel. I have never abused my position. Someone is sabotaging me, and I think I know who. She explained what she'd overheard in Ngozi. Blessing, the conspiracy to make her fail. Adana laughed a cruel tinkling sound. How convenient. Blame subordinates for your own incompetence. Papa, this is embarrassing. Fire her before this becomes public. Mr. Obi stood slowly, walking to the window. Outside, Lagos glittered with promises and lies. Chioma, go home. Take tomorrow off. I need to think about this. Sir, please. Tomorrow. We'll discuss this further. Dismissed. Disgraced. Destroyed. Chioma left the estate with her career crumbling, her reputation shattered, and the sickening certainty that she'd been set up perfectly. She couldn't go home. Couldn't face Mama with this news, that the miracle job was gone, that she'd been accused of theft, that maybe integrity didn't matter after all. But no, she can't go down without a fight. She needs evidence, and evidence she must find. Instead, Chioma returned to Grandeur Palace at midnight. Using her master keycard, she went to the administrative floor. The administrative office was dark, illuminated only by the green glow of exit signs. Chioma's hands shook as she used her keycard. The lock clicked, and she slipped inside. Filing cabinets lined the walls. Computers hummed softly. Somewhere in this room was the evidence that would destroy her career or prove her innocence. The lobby was empty, except for the night receptionist. Chioma took the service elevator, avoiding everyone. There. A folder marked Recent Transactions November. Chioma spread the contents across the desk. Her heart sank. Withdrawal slip after withdrawal slip, each bearing her signature. 50,000 to Nwosu Medical Fund, 30,000 to Chukwudi Nwosu Education, 25,000 to Personal Emergency. The signatures were perfect. Frighteningly perfect. She pulled out her phone, comparing the forged signatures to her real ones in her employment file. Whoever did this had practiced extensively. She started recording the evidence with her phone when she smelled it. Smoke. Not cigarette smoke. Something chemical. Acrid. Wrong. Chioma ran to the corridor. Smoke was seeping from under the door of the maintenance room. Abandoning the evidence she gathered, she pulled the fire alarm, the sound shrieking through the building. Fire! Everyone evacuate! She ran down the corridor, pounding on guest room doors. Fire! Get out now! Chaos erupted. Guests stumbled into hallways in pajamas, confused and frightened. The night staff appeared, some helping, others frozen in panic.
This way, quickly!
Use the emergency stairs,
Keep moving,
Chioma
don't
shouted.
stop.
Stay calm, move quickly. She did a mental count of the floors. 23
Keep
stories,
moving, everyone.
hundreds of guests.
Stay calm
Her
and
training
orderly.
kicked in. She'd
This
studied
way to the
emergency
exit.
protocols obsessively when she became manager, praying she'd never need them. Fund me. She grabbed her assistant. Check the guest registry. Anyone with mobility issues? Yes, ma. Room 1807, elderly couple. Wife uses wheelchair. Room 1203, man on crutches. Room 2115. Get security to assist them. Now. But Musa was gone. So was most of the night security team. Through the smoke and chaos, Chioma saw them running out of the building, abandoning their posts. She made a choice. Fund me, you evacuate. I'll get the vulnerable guests. Ma, you can't go alone. That's an order. Go. Chioma grabbed a fire extinguisher and ran up the emergency stairs. Her lungs burned. Her legs screamed. But she reached the 18th floor, found room 1807, and pounded on the door. An elderly man answered, his wife behind him in a wheelchair, both terrified. Sir, there's a fire. I'm here to help you evacuate. The elevator. No elevators during fire. We'll use the stairs. But my wife can't walk. Chioma made another choice. She lifted the elderly woman from the wheelchair. She weighed almost nothing, fragile as a bird, and started down the stairs. The husband followed, moving slowly, but moving. 18 floors. Chioma's arms trembled. Her vision spotted smoke was thicker now, making breathing torture. But she didn't stop. Floor 12. The elderly woman coughed violently against her shoulder. Floor 8. Chioma's legs nearly gave out. She sat on a step, gasping. "Leave me," the woman whispered. "Save yourself." "Not a chance." NP. Chioma stood again, found strength she didn't know existed. Floor 3. She could hear sirens outside. Fire trucks, police, help. She stumbled into the lobby and into the arms of paramedics. The elderly couple was rushed to ambulances. Other guests were being treated for smoke inhalation. As the sirens faded into the smoky night, Chioma's strength finally gave out. Her body collapsed beside the ruins of the hotel, the heat of the fire still burning her skin, but nothing burned more than the truth trapped inside her chest. She had lost everything, including the only evidence that could clear her name. As she slipped into a coma on the stretcher, one fragile thought whispered through her fading mind. Will the truth ever come out, now that the fire swallowed the only proof I had? And then darkness closed in, silently. And so, dear traveler, this chapter of destiny comes to an end. But remember, the kingdom of Queen's folklore lives on through you. If this story touched your spirit, honor the royal court by subscribing, liking, sharing with your tribe. Your engagement keeps the crown shining. Return tomorrow. Another tale awaits under the kingdom's watchful eye. But did Chioma's chapter of destiny truly end? Or is fate quietly preparing her return? Only one way to find out. Join the royal court now. The next revelation is closer than you think. And let us know in the comments section how soon you want the revelation to be. Your voice guides the crown.